What is going on, everybody? How we doing? Welcome back to the Georgia Meth Show. I know, everybody, it's been a little bit since we've been up here. Been about exactly a week, you guys. Listen, I understand, everybody. I understand. We're supposed to be here consistently. I'm lacking. I'm lacking. I'm not going to say anything because there's no excuses at all. But welcome back, everybody. I hope we're doing great, having a blessed, beautiful Monday. It is Thanksgiving week, so it's not too bad. But we got a lot to discuss today. Everything starting from baseball. Huge Mets trade, which I'm not happy about. We'll talk about that in a few. We also got a bit of Shedeur Sanders start. We'll talk about that a little bit. Jamar Chase also suspended, and we'll talk about wall games. Shout out William Regal, and we'll be out of here. So let's get started with the usual positive vibes quote. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys already know every time we start, we always have a positive vibes quote. Here it is for today. You're braver than you believe, and you're stronger than you seem. You're smarter than you think. And you're smarter than you think. That is from A.A. Mine, an author who wrote that positive quote. Believe in yourself. Understand that you have a worth on this earth, that you were placed here for a reason. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep it short, sweet, simple. I want you to process through that through your brain. Understand everything I just said there. Understand you guys have value. Believe in yourself. Let's get started. So, we're going to discuss a little bit about the Mets here. We're going to have some discussions of things I think they should do, and then we'll also break down the trade that they made, which we'll get into. But let's start off with Kodai Senga, my people. He was discussed about a couple of days ago by Andy Martino, one of the Mets reporters. He says, it's definitely true that's being discussed in trade talks, Mourinho said. There's interest in Kodai Senga around the league right now because of his upside and because of what we've seen when he's at his best. There's certainly a rotational line of thinking that would point to a change of scenery after the last 2 years being the best for the player and team. It's not a defiant he's going to be traded, but there's going to be so many moving parts coming into the Mets rotation. They hope and plan that Kodai Senga leaving could be a part of the overall overhaul. And I don't think there's going to be a problem finding a trade. So let's discuss a little bit. Let me put that into terms that maybe just the average fan may not know if they're just watching just to watch. So here's what's going on. Mr. Andy Martino says that the Mets are definitely interested in trading him. There's teams that are possibly interested in him. There's overall a thought process of letting him go just because the rotation is building up little by little, and we see that Kodai just hasn't been that go-to person that you want there. So here's my thing. I've said it, I think, before a couple shows ago, but I think it's time that we move on from Kodai Senga. I think it's time to just let him go. Just because he hasn't been very reliable. He's has been very injury prone. Hasn't been very consistent. As you guys saw, they dropped him down to literally AAA, which is not good. If they're dropping you down to AAA, that is no signs of improvement. That is not a good sign. And obviously, there's many people that could use pitching. Think about it. And his contract is pretty friendly. He has a 5-year, $75 million deal, which he's making $14 million per year. So it's not too bad. And obviously, there's teams that can use him, like the Padres, the Braves, the Astros, the Red Sox, and the Diamondbacks. Now, I don't know if we want to trade him to the Braves, but those other teams need pitching, and they could use him. So it's not that bad of an idea. This past season, he had a 3.02 ERA with a whip of 1.3. Had 109 strikeouts with a win-loss record of 7-6 with a 2.1 WAR. So he's been a bit so-so for the Mets. He's projected to have a 3.46 ERA with the same winning-loss record. And also strikes... Oh, my bad. And it's just, my thing is this. They already have him that he won't be, pitching that much. They only have him where he's pitching 117 innings with a whip of 1.2. So, listen, I say let's get rid of him. I say let's move on. Maybe you go out, talk to the Diamondbacks, maybe try to get Ketel Marte. Well, thinking about it, it won't be necessary anymore. Maybe talking to the Padres, maybe see if you could throw him in there with, possibly a Fernando Tatis Jr. It's been discussed. I don't know. Don't quote me. But it's been discussed. Fernando Tatis Jr. possibly. I don't know. If I was really, I would try to see if Manny Machado's available. He had a down year last season. Think about it. This is a guy that is one of the best third basemen. He did decline a little bit, but he's one of those up there, top, players. He had a batting average of 275 with 27 home runs, 95 RBIs, OPS plus of 118 with an OPS of 795, slugging him 460. His on-base percentage was 335. I would say if the Padres are looking to shed some cachet and set some money, he's 33 years old, yeah, but I would say maybe try to go out and get Manny Machado. Maybe try to see if you could involve a couple players, of course, and get Manny Machado. I think that would be nice. Just because that is one of the top third basemen right now. It's really not easy to find a third baseman out there in the market right now. Maybe in a couple years, but who knows? Right now, currently, obviously, it's really only Bregman. I would say maybe try to do that. If you want to trade him maybe to the Red Sox, maybe you get a Shedeur. Who knows? But we got to get rid of him, you guys. Think about it. That rotation, we already let go of Frankie Montas. He's not going to pitch at all next year. We still have Sean Manaea, David Peterson. We have both young rookies. That's already 4 people. And really what we need is that true ace. Kodai Senga was supposed to be, but he just hasn't lived up to it. Obviously, as Mets fans, we're hoping that ace is Tarek Skubal, but we have to see what, the Tigers decide to do with him. Like I said, I doubt it. They'll want to trade him, but, it's a possibility. They probably, if the number's right, they probably will. But I would go out, have a discussion. Like I said, I'd talk to the Padres a lot. They want to set some cachet. This is a very friendly team contract. They have a couple players like Michael King and Dylan Cease, who are free agents, who were their starters. I'd say probably try to talk to them a lot. Maybe get a Fernando or a Manny Machado. Here's what I think. I would really want a Manny Machado. We need a third baseman. We've needed a third baseman for years now. I hated that Steve Cohen wasn't there when, he was a free agent at the very beginning, because that would have been phenomenal. But he's still a good third baseman, had a down year, so you really can use that against them. Fernando obviously would be phenomenal also. He's a great player. His dad played for the organization, and you could just shift Soto to left, put Fernando in right. That would be awesome. It's just the package of one, if the Padres, because I said, here's why I threw out Manny first, is because Fernando, obviously, I see them wanting him to be the face of the franchise. Obviously, right now, Machado's the leader, but they want Fernando to be the face of the franchise. So you letting him go is really, I feel like they would like more to get rid of Machado than Fernando, to be honest. But hey, like I said, just to wrap this one up, I would say let's get rid of him. We got to move on and just let that go. So let's have a discussion here, you guys. Let's just get down to it, and then we'll continue on with everything else, I think. So obviously, everybody's probably wondering my thoughts. What do I think about it? This and that, whatever. So let's get into it. So you guys, yesterday, of course, on a Sunday night, it was reported that the Mets traded Mr. Brandon Nimmo to the Texas Rangers for Marcus Semien. So let me see if I can get the whole thing. So it was basically an even trade. The Mets traded Brandon Nimmo for Marcus Semien from the Texas Rangers, you guys. And when I saw this, I said, why? I really said why, because we didn't get better. That's my problem at all. Like, I'm trying to think of why did we make that trade? Why, like, Marcus Simeon? Really? Marcus Simeon? This is a guy that, and I don't want to really throw shade on anybody and none of that, etc. But I'm just gonna speak facts. Yes, he has a good glove, but what's the cons? His bat has declined since 2023. He's 35 years old, so technically 2 or 3 years older than Brandon Nimmo. You owe him $72 million over 3 years. Okay, you owe him less years than Nimmo. But you got worse than what you did better. And you give a Brandon Nimmo, a left fielder, for a second baseman when you're full of second basemen right now. You have Jeff McNeil. You got Luis Angel Acuna. You have Ronnie Mauricio, who you plateau there every once in a while. You have 3 second basemen. Why are you going to get Marcus Simeon for? And then my thing is, like, what I'm trying to justify here is, for what? Why did we trade Brandon Nimmo for Marcus Simeon? Marcus Simeon stinks. Look at this. I have the stats here of offensively from both players. Because here's the thing. Here's what people got to understand. Yeah, he's a gold glove, whatever. He's a second baseman. It's second base. It's not like we're talking about shortstop or third or the outfield. It's second base. You don't really care. You don't hear elite second basemen like that. Because it's like whatever. So it's like, let me read this out. So let's start off from down to whatever. So Brandon Nimmo has 25 home runs. Marcus Simeon has 15. Nimmo has 92 RBIs. Simeon 62. Nimmo has a 262 batting average. Simeon has a 230. Nimmo has an on-base percentage of 324. Simeon a 305. Nimmo slugging 436. Marcus Simeon 464. OPS plus 114. Marcus Simeon 97. We declined. We got our problem, a big problem that we had apart from defense was offense. We couldn't hit the ball at all. If your name wasn't Lindor, Soto, or Pete, we stunk. We stunk. So we decided to go get a second baseman who's 35 years old and wet the bed when we could have got probably a younger player like freaking Ketel Marte. If you wanted to do that, if you really needed a second baseman. So you go out, get a guy that's going to decline in defense. They already slotted him in second base. What? Or second in the lineup. Are you crazy? Hell no, you don't want to have him there. He sucks. Like, what are we thinking? So I get it. Nimmo, don't get me wrong. Nimmo, as his career has gone on with the Mets, he hasn't been very, on staying on the field kind of guy. He's been getting hurt a little bit. But you've gotten worse. That's the problem. Now, we're gonna wait it out to the end of this offseason, and we'll see how it is. We'll come back to it and see how it is. But right now, as you stand, you got worse. You've gotten worse. And that's not good. We didn't make the playoffs at all. And we got rid of Brandon Nimmo. What are we doing? Like, I'm trying to figure out, what are we doing? It don't make sense to me at all. And it sucks, but, it's just, we got to do better, man. Because I don't like this move at all. I really don't. I think it didn't make any sense. You want to get better defense, okay, but there was better options out there. You go get a guy that's 35 years old. For what? Who knows if eventually this ends up being like a Robinson Cano situation. Brandon Nimmo, listen, my heart goes out to you. In a good way, you're a great guy, man. He was definitely a good soldier for the Mets. Good clubhouse leader. Very, just a straight-up guy. One of the guys that you want on your team because he's going to be consistent. He's going to be doing what he got to do and handling business the right way. Great dude overall. That's what I will say about Brandon. You could just tell. Even without meeting him, you could tell his vibes, good people. Hope he kills it out in Texas. Texas, you guys won this trade, obviously. You guys got a pretty good player. Obviously, already, I think they said he's going to play right field, so he was probably replacing Adolis Garcia. So we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out throughout the season. Maybe we'll be wrong, but right now, as it stands, this is not a good trade. That's all I'm going to say. Talking about another Mets need. So Cody Bellinger. I think Cody Bellinger is someone the Mets need to look at. Why? Very plateau. This guy plays all outfield and plays first base. I think it would be a great signing. He did pretty good for the Yankees. He had 272 batting average with 29 home runs, 98 RBIs, OPS plus of 125 with an OPS of 813, slugging of 480. And he had an on-base percentage of 334, so he did pretty good. He contributed pretty well for the Yankees. He's 30 years old. Been pretty consistent. We're talking about a former MVP here. Cody, he's good. I want to go. I think we need to go get him. I think it would be a good signing, a good move to go out. Mr. Bellinger, get him on the team. Lefty bat. Has pretty good speed to him as well. Good glove. It would help out the defense. Help out the defense and help out plateauing around, moving players around, being shifty. I think we should get Bellinger. But we won't talk about it too much. We'll keep it there. Let's talk about Corey Seager, you guys, and the Texas Rangers. So it was reported that, let's just read it out. So Corey Seager is owed $186 million for over the next 6 years from a Texas club looking to reduce payroll. Theoretically, it could be an option, but according to Major League sources briefed on his contract, the Braves are one of the 8 teams on Seager's no-trade list. So Yankees need to talk to the Rangers right away. That's when I saw this, I would say the Yankees need to give the Texas Rangers a call. Here's why. Lefty bat, good all-star shortstop. You have a situation going on where shortstop is one of your weak positions right now with Anthony Volpe. I'm sorry, but Volpe is just not living up to it, and it's time to move on. You got a player that is an elite shortstop. We're talking about a 5-time All-Star, 3-time slugger, 2-time World Series MVP, Rookie of the Year, 2 times World Series champion, and an NLCS MVP. Think about it. He had a WAR of 6.2, and he had a batting average of 271, 21 home runs, 50 RBIs, OPS plus of 151, OPS of 860, on-base percentage of 373, slugging of 487. So way better than what you got right now, obviously. Let me read out to you guys Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe had a 212 batting average with an OPS plus of 83. Again, I will say that again, 83. With an OPS of 663, slugging 391, on-base percentage of 272, with 19 home runs and 72 RBIs and a WAR of 1.6. You guys, I will say this again. This man has an 83 on-base per OPS plus. Not good. So, like I said, it would be a way better improvement. Think about it. Seager has a 151 OPS plus. So he's been getting on base, been hitting the ball, making contact, doing pretty good. But like I said, I would go out if I was the Yankees and give Texas a call. I would possibly send over Volpe, maybe a couple not too many prospects, but I would get him. I would be on the phone talking to them right away. Think about it. Good player, lefty bat. That would be phenomenal. Like, think about it. That would be a great player to get on your roster. Now, obviously, the downside, he is getting older. He's 31 years old, and you'd have him for 6 more years. So you'd have him till what? He's 37. 37. So it would be a coin toss. You're playing a bit with fire, but you guys got to make your call. Got to make a call. You got to make a move because you guys haven't been doing well in the playoffs when it matters. And players have been declining. But that was interesting. I'm surprised Texas is wanting to shed contract. Obviously, they let go of Adolis Garcia. They didn't even tender him. He just became a free agent. So they let go of Marcus Semien, shedding some money. Let's see. Maybe they go out and let him go. So let's switch up a little bit here to Jamar Chase, you guys. So as you guys know, we discussed about it last week. Jamar Chase, this dang thing. Jamar Chase had received a 1-game suspension, you guys, for unsportsmanlike conduct after video showing him spitting on Steelers cornerback Jalen Ramsey. So he appealed the decision, but the suspension was upheld by a hiring officer. As a result, he will be losing his game check of $448,333 and his base plus pay, or his active bonus, of $58,823. What the hell are you doing, Chase? The suspension makes him the first NFL player to receive a suspension for spitting incident under the league's current disciplinary process. So, if you remember, he denied it. It was on proof. Boom, he got himself suspended. Listen, it went through, went past. He did his suspension. Let's see how you do against the Ravens, you guys. You got your quarterback Joe Burrow coming back. Let's see how he does. I know T. Higgins is going to be out, so obviously Chase is going to be looked at a lot. But listen, it's just next time be honest, man. Just be honest, because it's not necessary. That's the thing how I look at it. It's not necessary to lie. You know that these cameras are expensive as hell. They are gonna catch you in 90,000K. So, and it's just spitting on somebody's just a no-no, dude. It's just that shit's not cool at all. That's something that you should never do ever. But listen, come back, go crazy. Or even though you guys are in a bit of a struggle, but come back, do what you got to do, and help this team out winning the ball games. A little bit of some positive things. So Mr. Shedeur Sanders, you guys, did pretty well for the Cleveland Browns. I was watching the game myself against the Raiders. I was happy, man. He did good. He had a good game for them. Let me see here. So he had 209 passing yards, 1 interception, 1 touchdown, and 87.3 passer rating. So, listen, he had a good game. Loved the job he did for the Browns. Obviously, it was against the Raiders, but hey, he did a good job. Love to see that. Raiders just, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but that team just looks just tremendously just, I don't know what it is. But I'm happy for Shedeur, you guys. He deserves it. Bro's been, hanging on the sideline, just watching it go and play out, and he did what he had to do. Love to see that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue here. I had a bit of call disruption, but listen, here's what I'll say. I'm proud of. Whoa! What's going on here? Okay, I guess so. So here's what I'll say. Proud with Shedeur. I'm rooting for him. Listen, I'm happy he did good. Now here's what I'll say. This had Mr. Kevin Stefanski. I don't want to start nothing, but listen, man, you didn't look too excited that your buddy Shedeur did well. I don't know why, but it's just, in my opinion, I didn't see him too excited. He didn't have that thing. Let's just pull up the video, and I'll show y'all. So first video is when they got their first win, Gabriel's first win. We'll go over it.
Hey, fellas, how about that teammate game right there? How about supporting each other? How about supporting each other? 99 with Browns came back. Three touchdowns for the young kid. Okay, some good out there. Some good. +4 turnover margin. Okay? You're going to win a lot of games, probably all of them.
All right, so listen, I won't spend too much on it, but he just, I don't know. The excitement didn't feel there. It really didn't. I really didn't see him too excited. And listen, here's the thing. Let's be honest. The Browns didn't want Shedeur Sanders. They didn't. We obviously know what the owner said. They didn't want Shedeur Sanders. So, listen, Shedeur, just go out, prove people wrong, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep just studying tape. They already announced he will be their starting quarterback. Keep studying tape. Keep doing what you got to do. Listen, this dude's going to be a star one day, you guys. Just let time go by. Be patient. He's going to be a star. Trust me. And I will say, I got to be honest, this offense to me looked way better with Shedeur there than how it did with Dylan, to be honest with you. Everything fluided more well. In my opinion, things went more a good way, I will say. But let's continue. Let's stop the chit-chat. Let's finish off with War Games. So, as you guys know, listen, we got a Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns stare down. People were shitting bricks. Oh my God, they were hyped and all that. Listen, War Games is going to be good this year. We got the babyface team of Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Jimmy, and Jey Uso. We got the heels of Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and Logan Paul. Listen, this is going to be fun. I think the heels are going to win it, just because there's going to be a bit of mouthy mouth action between Roman, Punk, maybe Cody, Roman, and Jay. But I think there's going to be a little friction there between that team. They're not going to be able to coordinate the right way to where I think, in my opinion, I think the heel team is going to win. Listen, if they were to continue on as a faction and keep going, this is going to be dangerous. Think about it. Brock Lesnar, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed as the new vision, that would be gross. Under Paul Heyman, man, that would be a scary, scary team. Now, that's the question. One, would Brock Lesnar want to be on a consistent schedule? Two, that would be a little bit of interception or intersecting what the WWE wants to do, which is make Braun Breaker the future. But it would be disgusting. That's just that would be the questions that they'd have to ask. Logan Paul obviously being on this group or being a heel, that's a good fit. Listen, it's gonna be fun. I love it. Can't wait to see how it goes. War Games is gonna be fun with this team, just to see who takes the pinfall. Who loses? I think it's obviously going to be one of the Usos, probably Jimmy, sadly, who will take the pinfall. But I think the heels are going to win. We'll see what happens with Drew. How does he sustain with the Vision group? Because he's the only one that's like an outsider in. But we'll see. I want to see the interactions between Roman and Cody. I think from what it looks like right now, I don't know. It looks like they're pitching for Roman and Punk. I don't know if at Rumble, but it looks like that's like something they're pitching. It's hard to tell. I really don't want to say yet because it's early. Obviously, they're planning for it. So we'll have to see. But listen, this is going to be good. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. As always, I'm sorry, you guys. I haven't been consistent. I haven't been living up to it. I'm trying to balance out a couple things. My apologies. I really am. I'm not going to use any excuses. Thank you guys all for watching. Like I say every single time, stay blessed, stay positive, stay humble. Peace.